Are you setting up Azure DevOps for the first time and getting stuck at the organization level? In this video, I'll show you how to create an Azure DevOps organization and configure the most important settings step by step. By the end, you'll know how to set it up the right way without confusion. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll learn how to create an organization in Azure DevOps and understand the most important settings you should know after creating it. If you're new to Azure DevOps, don't worry, I'll explain everything step by step. Let's get started. Azure DevOps is Microsoft's cloud platform for building and deploying applications. Everything starts with an organization. It's the foundation for your projects, pipelines, and teams. Now let me show you how to create an organization. To begin, open your browser and go to dev.azure.com. Sign in using your Microsoft account, either a work account or a personal one. Once you sign in, you'll land on the Azure DevOps homepage. If dev.azure.com asks for an Azure subscription, use aex.dev.azure.com instead. It opens Azure DevOps directly. No subscription required. This is fine for learning and practice, but for enterprise projects, always use a proper Azure subscription. From the left side pane, click on New Organization. You'll see the Get Started with the Azure DevOps screen. Click on the Continue button. Here you need to name your organization. Select your country, complete the verification, and then click Continue. Now you'll get to see it, taking you to your Azure DevOps organization screen. I can't create another organization because this is a trial tenant, and I've reached the maximum limit. However, this is the exact process you would follow to create a new organization in Azure DevOps. Now let me walk you through the key organization settings and configurations in Azure DevOps. So let's click on this organization settings. I'm now on the organization overview page. From here you can view basic details like the organization name, URL, and description, and update them if needed. This section gives you a quick summary of your Azure DevOps organization. Here is the description you can update here. This is the organization overview section we just discussed. This is the projects section, where you create and manage projects for your applications. From here you can create a new project. Just give your project a name, optionally add a description, and set the project visibility. I'll create a separate, dedicated tutorial on the best way to configure projects in Azure DevOps, so I won't go into those details here. This is the Users section where you manage user access and permissions. From here you can add new users, including regular users or service principals. Then you can choose the access level and assign the user to a project. The Group rule lets you automatically manage user access using Microsoft Entra ID groups. When users are added to a group, they're automatically assigned the correct access level and project permissions. You can export the user's report as well. Then comes Billing Management. The Billing section is where you manage subscriptions, paid features, and license usage for your Azure DevOps organization. The Global Notifications section lets you control default notification settings for users and groups across the organization. Subscribers define who receives notifications and for which events. The Statistics tab shows a quick summary of your notification activity. The Settings tab controls organization-wide notification behavior. The Usage section shows how your organization is using Azure DevOps resources, including activity levels and service consumption. Then we got Extensions section. The Extensions section manages add-ons and integrations for your organization. Browse Marketplace lets you explore and install new extensions from the Azure DevOps Marketplace. For example, you can install tools like GitHub integrations or pipeline add-ons from the marketplace. The Microsoft Entra section lets you connect your Azure DevOps organization to Entra ID, so all users get matched to their official enterprise identities. This keeps access consistent and nothing gets deleted in the process. The Connect Directory button links your organization to Microsoft Entra ID. Security Overview highlights risks and existing security coverage. The Risk tab shows security vulnerabilities or weak areas that may need attention. The Coverage tab shows what security protections are already in place across your organization. Policy configurations let you manage and customize how different security policies are applied across your Azure DevOps organization. Application connection policies control third-party access using OAuth and manage SSH authentication rules. User policies include options like allowing invitations for GitHub users. Privacy policies let you choose whether Microsoft can collect user feedback from your organization. The Permissions section helps you manage access across your Azure DevOps organization. The Groups tab shows all permission groups, and the Users tab lists individual users and their access levels. Even you can create a new custom group as well. Key groups include project collection administrators who have full control across all projects, project collection build administrators who manage build and pipeline settings at the organization level, and build service accounts used for automated builds, and more. You can also create your own custom groups. Just give the group a name, add the required members, and provide a short description of the group's purpose. The Users tab shows all individuals with access, where you can quickly view and adjust their permissions. We can see for this registered organization. Currently, there's only one project collection administrator. To reduce the risk of losing admin access, it's recommended to add at least one more administrator. You can add additional administrators from here as well using this button. Next is the Board section, and under that, the Process settings. Under the Processes tab, you'll see options like Basic, Agile, Scrum, and CMMI. These define how work items, backlogs, and workflows are structured for your teams. The Fields tab defines what fields appear on those work items and how they're used. The Pipeline section controls execution and access. Agent pools define the machines or agents that execute your pipeline jobs, whether they are Microsoft-hosted or self-hosted. We can add a new pool as well. To add a new agent pool, click Add Pool, choose the pool type, give it a name, and then create the pool. Managed DevOps pools are Microsoft-managed and reduce the effort of maintaining agents. Self-hosted pools give you full control when you need custom tools or private network access. VM Scale Set pools automatically scale build agents in Azure. The Settings section lets you control pipeline security, access permissions, and how pipelines are triggered and executed across the organization. This setting restricts pipeline triggers from forked GitHub pull requests for security. Next, we have deployment pools. These are logical groups of target machines used to deploy applications across one or more projects. To create a new deployment pool, click Add Pool. Give it a name, select the target projects, and then create the pool. Next, we have parallel jobs. Parallel jobs simply decide how many pipelines can run at the same time. You'll see two sections, private projects and public projects. Each has Microsoft-hosted and self-hosted jobs. Private projects get one free Microsoft-hosted job and unlimited self-hosted jobs. Public projects get unlimited jobs for both. Next, we have OAuth configuration. Adding an OAuth configuration allows Azure DevOps to create secure service connections in your projects. These settings let pipelines authenticate securely. To add an Add OAuth configuration, click on this button. Give a name, select source type, callback URL, enter the client ID and client secret, then save it. That's all. Under the Repos section, we have Repositories. Here you can manage advanced security features, set the default starting state for all new repositories, and control organization-wide settings for every repo. This helps maintain consistent security and governance across your projects. Finally, under Artifacts, we have the Storage section. This shows your organization-level artifact storage usage, how much space your feeds and packages are consuming. Here you can monitor storage limits, clean up old packages, and keep your artifact usage under control. All right, that wraps up today's session. In the next video, I'll show you the best way to create a new project in Azure DevOps and set it up properly. Then we'll move into a full deployment pipeline series, so stay tuned. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And before you go, check out my Copilot Studio Masterclass playlist. On the end screen, it's packed with deep dive tutorials to level up your AI agent skills. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.